Thank you for joining us on our YouTube page. This channel aims to provide timely updates and relevant information to current employees and our retirees. This bargaining committee is committed to promoting unionism and ensuring transparency. Once you subscribe to this channel, you will get monthly updates on our union meetings, ongoing negotiations, contract development, union events, and member benefits. So we're going to call this meeting to order and we'll rise for the pledge. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll have the reading of last month's minutes by Tom Hubb.
Thank you. The October 3rd membership meeting. Meeting was called to order and pledge. We had a roll call and reading of the September minutes. Motion by Carl Eichelberry to accept the minutes, second by Paul Smith, passed. No new members are sworn in. Motion by Paul Smith to suspend the meeting, second by Brenda Smith Stanley, meeting suspended. Representatives from the United Way addressed the membership. They said they wanted to start a conversation about the good of the community. There are a lot of families living paycheck to paycheck. They want to start to test run a program with the UAW. He gave the example of buying a tire for a family can help maybe save their job and avoid all the problems that come if they lose that job. And General is seeing an influx of younger families. They want to demonstrate that our neighbors matter. Okay. Motion by Doris Strasser to resume the meeting, second by Gene Cady, meeting resumed. Eddie Maldonado's AFTC report. Sales for August were 5.7 million. The third quarter closed at 14.6 million. AFTC continues to experience material inbound delays and on-time delivery is 88%. JLTV employees have been utilized to assist with kitting. JLTV parts and equipment continue to arrive. Management has experienced problems with the software conversion. Clarence Bibbs skilled trades report. Manpower 22 active, 2 upgraders, 5 on medical leave, and 1 retired. Trade continues to work on numerous PMs and projects around the plant. Contractors continue to work on numerous projects in Plant 1 and 2. Electricians are installing new charging stations in Plant 2 for AGVs. Power outages are scheduled for October 25th and 26th. Ryan Hoover's military report. There are 4 Saturdays scheduled October through December and 2 chassis-only production weeks. There are over 2,700 vehicles on property. Ukraine wants another 150 Hawks. The company continues to struggle to get JLTV parts from some suppliers. The government will visit to do a readiness production assessment from October 14th through the 25th. JLTV production target is November 12th to start with a backlog of 2,875 JLTV. Company continues to have hopes to have 6 JLTVs and 1 trailer completed by early February of 2025. Under visitors, National Guard was here on October 9th, Poland on October 21st, and Bangladesh on October 22nd. Keith Oden's chairman. On September 17th, the union met with United Way reps to focus on AM General's commitment to the program. They admit that United Way needs to be restructured and get their priorities straight. On September 24th, the committee met with Jason Breeden about blended work. The company sold it as more people making higher wages. We told them we want everyone to make higher wage, not just a small group. With all the overtime and down weeks, it's been hard to schedule a meeting with the stewards. We are going to try to have one this month. Safety glasses. New employees can get prescription glasses if they have an up-to-date prescription from their item. The company is working on a United Way drug. Schwab will be in the cafeteria on October 17th. Blue shops at the military plant may be the first week of November. Bristol will be giving vouchers for a beacon. Under communications, the UAW military t-shirt deadline is October 11th. Bike run is on October 13th, and the rec committee donut sale is ongoing. It's no old business. Under good and welfare, Chairman Oden read a list of those who ill or have passed, and the silence was observed. Motion by Kevin Deinhardt to excuse Sean Brown and Dan Herzig. Second by Keith Bernicki, passed. There were no new business. Motion adjourned by Mark Marin. Second by Jesse Cuevas, passed. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. We'll move on with the report of officers, starting with Eddie Maldonado with the AFTC report. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The AFTC operations report for the month of November. October closed at just a little over 6 million. The third quarter closed at 14.6 million. The overall year to date thus far is 70.9 million. Management at AFTC is projecting 92.9 million thus far for the overall for the rest of the year. Management report that the overtime is due to the late materials and delays in parts. Our overtime, excuse me, our on-time delivery is at 90%. Management will be deploying new camera systems for Department 631 JLTV. The Egypt chassis overpack productions for the kits is continuing. They delivered the first 15 on October 29th, with another 15 on track. The JLTV FAT kits planning is underway. Current sales orders are in for the late February and March of 2024. We received 6 new employees for Department 631 JLTV. We have received the replacement for Jeff Williams' cover lead job, which is Mr. Randy Frucci, and we currently have 57 employees at the AFTC facility. Thank you. Thank you, Eddie. We'll move on with the skilled trades report by Clarence Bibbs.
Thank you. Skilled trades report. Manpower, you have 15 tradesmen on first shift, 4 tradesmen on second shift, two pipe fitter upgraders, 2 at AFTC. We have 6 on medical leave for a total of 29. Skilled trades continue to work on PMs throughout the plant. Millwrights have been putting cabinet fixtures together and wire stands for Bristol. They also have been installing fixtures on tables out in the trailer build area. The electricians are wiring up remote controls on the hoist in the large park paint area so that 2 hoists can be used at once due to the heavy parts. K2 Power finished up the last outage on substations 2, 3, 5, and the compressor room. Some of the Gorbel has arrived. Cisco has started installing it at Knapp and in Bristol. The repack area is finally being moved to Bristol. That started last Wednesday. Thank you.
Thank you, Clarence. We'll have Brian Hoover with the military map report.
Sales for the year, we have 2,155, one for one for the chassis. Sales for October, we have 215 trucks. The 1348 trucks, we shipped out 372. And the company had said that the fourth quarter looks good. Israel, we have 200 trucks, but they are not on contract. A few of the supply chain issues with the electrical shunts. We're still going to run production and chassis for Saturdays, the November 23rd and December 7th. The rest of the plant will remain on 10-hour days, and then for 8 hours, and then 10 hours for the chassis. And that will go through the month of December and end on December 13th. The Ukraine, got some updates on that. October 24th, the line of fire test. October 31st, we have 72 units to Ukraine. And we have a few JLTV updates. The audit came back from the government. They had 285 findings. The company had told us that they have fixed 155, so they got a few more close out before the government comes back for the return for the additional audit. November 12th, the MRA trailer government will start. November 14th and 15th, we have trucks, another audit to look at, but that's about 50% complete. The company is still moving on with the third asset to build before production. The plan is 1,600 JLTV trucks. 1,600 trailers to start production in 2025. Um, the tunnel build or paint actually is to start December 2nd. That's been moved from November 12th. And then the production to start that build of the tunnel after the paint is done, that will begin on December 4th. There's just been a few quality issues, TCM light, broken pin, and then I think the Shepherd's gear, that's about ready to wrap up. They got 5 to 6 gears left to complete that, and then also to be shipped out. Um, Todd had informed us they're gonna start with that tone ring implementation for the half shaft. That will start on December 2nd, and that will start on chassis one, and that will be implemented to the, I'm not sure which operator, but that will be that's another update that we have. Uh, One more thing I have, actually a few more things. Ginger in the office is looking for a co-chair volunteer for the United Way. So if anybody's interested in that, please get with one of us on the committee or Ginger in the office. Uh, the rumors for December are, none of them are true. We're going to run production all the way through the month of December, so no shutdown weeks. And the toys for tots, obviously we have two boxes in the kiosks area in the lunchroom. Obviously, with the workload and with our membership weeks off and that, it's kind of hard to support other donation obligations when we have our families to take care of. So we understand that. The committee is going to donate, I think, 4 to 5 bikes, and you'll see that in the middle of the plant. And then an update on the Christmas lunch. It looks like they're going to go ahead and do that on December 20th, but that's subject to change. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. Move on with the chairman's report. I just want to touch base on the grievances. We did have a third step meeting on October 16th. We had over 30 grievances try to resolve on the 16th. Um, we've had over 100 grievances this year, and we've said it all along. You know, it's not the quantity of grievances; it's the quality of the grievances. We got to make sure that we have solid language in the book when we go into third steps. Our goal is to win these grievances in the third step when they make it that far. Um, I think the stewards have been doing a great job as far as making sure that they have agreements and it's not just a complaint. So when we go in, we have information from the steward, we have a solid history of what's going on, and we can present the case better. There are times in the grievance procedure that we're not successful and we have to push things to arbitration. We are trying to avoid arbitrations at any great measure that we have to do. Uh, it's very costly for people that don't understand the grievance, the arbitration procedure. It can cost the union anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000 over a grievance if we think there's enough to go to arbitration. That's why it's so important to write good grievances. Make sure you take detailed facts. That way, we have a better ground to stand on. During the arbitrations, if it goes that far, the arbiters they will send the company a list and the union a list of potential arbiters. We go through and we will rate them on the ones that would be more friendly for us. Then we'll sit down with the company and we'll actually strike arbiters until we come up to like 3 that we all agree on. And then we'd go to that process. We did have one slated for arbitration, a grievance going to arbitration, but we sat down with the company. We were able to come up to an agreement to avoid arbitration and any more cost on anybody, both parties. And that was about the facilities. The language says that anytime the company shuts you down, moves you to a different facility, they'd pay you the utility rate of pay. We had some disagreements on and a lot of discussion on that, but in the end, the company was willing to see it the way that we see it, and that if they shut you down from your job and they have to move you to a different uh, facility within AM General that has a different physical address, you are due the 75 cents utility rate of pay. So that's a very big success that we were able to achieve without having to go into arbitration and spend all that money. I want to talk a little bit about the blended work. That's a term that the company came to us. They approached us on that blended work with large part paint. And if they were going to add jobs, because they thought they would run Humvee parts down the new large part paint that was built for JLTV. And because of that, the company said they would be willing to pay the higher rate of pay for the painters that were on that large part paint line. We left that meeting with that understanding. The company left that meeting with a different understanding that they could put any kind of JLTV work on anybody within the plant. So we've had a lot of discussion on that, several meetings. We're very clear on how we understand it. The company seems to be very clear on how they understand it. Um, their idea is that they're going to keep assessing processes to efficiently and effectively launch the JLTV production. Uh, company plans on integrating JLTV content into the main plant in the following areas: large part and small part paint, blast, Aladyne, material handling, camo process, general repair, vehicle loading and shipping, process line, offline paint repair, and quality. Um, we are very clear in the meetings that as long as that language in the book about plant two non-Humvee work is still in the contract book, that they're in violation of the CVA. So we had given them a proposal. We met with them last week. We gave them a proposal. Uh, we're supposed to hear back from them next week. Hopefully that works out. Again, we just want to have collaborative talks with the company, make sure we do everything. And then we're just trying to do our best as a committee to make sure we're taking care of the membership. In that proposal, we're asking the company, and every meeting we've had with the company, to remove those pages of non-Humvee work, plant two work. That will give us one pay scale. We'll have a new higher pay scale plus the Humvee pay scale, but it gets those low wages, non-livable wages out of the contract book. And that's our goal: get everybody on the one tier, one pay system. So again, that was in our proposal, and we're going to do our best to keep on track with that. One last thing is, in case nobody's aware of it, AM Journal used to own a plant in Indianapolis. It was called UAW Local 5. It was a stamping plant, or 555. It was a stamping plant. They shut that plant down in 1997. What they're talking about doing is they want to merge Local 555 with our pension plan, Local 5. There was a lot of questions involved. We weren't part of those as a committee. The company was talking to our international rep, Joe Taylor, and Joe referred a lot of things to Ned Macy. He's an international lawyer for the UAW. So we had had some talks on November 1st. We had had some concerns as a committee. I know Joe said he had given the company a lot of questions between him and Ned. I believe they have answers on those. I did ask Mark Minnie on Friday the 1st for more information on this, so that way we could see what's going on. Since we weren't part of any of the initial talks, we're still waiting on that information. But in transparency, I want everybody to understand what's going on. That's what we're about. Let the members know what's going on. That's what this channel's about. So you guys that aren't able to make the meetings, at least you get the information. Um, so that's my report. I'm sure there'll be a lot of questions from that, and that's what this is supposed to do. It's supposed to generate questions and get interest involved. It's not to take away from the union meeting. We still want everybody to come to the meetings, but this is for the people that have busy lives that can't make the meeting the first Thursday of the month. So moving on to communications. The Recreation Committee, they are going to have milk and cookies on December 14th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. down here. Okay, I was corrected. It's 9 a.m. till 12, not 11 a.m., but it's down here at the Union Hall. We do have a local member, Dave Mahowski, who is going to dress up as Santa. They have some activities planned, so it's not just milk and cookies. They're going to have some ornament making and different activities for the kids to do. It's a nice thing that they're doing. Hopefully, everybody can get their grandkids and their kids involved in that and have a good turnout for the Recreation Committee. Those ladies do a great job. So we do have good and welfare. Thank you, Tom. So AM General, active and retirees, Brenda Broadway, active, passed away. Richard Wrightenhouse Senior, retiree, passed. And we have members with health concerns: Mike Kaufman, Deb Fry, Danny Tabor, Wade Vargo, Tony Anagasto, Paul DeSmith, Tony Yotto, Matt Cook, Anna Lopez, Danny Marsh, Brian Litchgay, Charlotte Litchgay, Dave Wallen, Ray Taberski, John Wantuck, Benny Creech, Wade Boker, Larry O'Munson, Ralph Tuttle, Richie Deedle, and Gail Coulter. Members of family: Mark Whitmer, wife is ill; Primo Eschavera, wife's health; Stacy Amor, husband passed; Donnie Weinberg, wife's health conditions; Richard Wrightenhouse Jr., father passed; Bernard Broadway, aunt passed; Danny Holt, brother passed. If we can have a moment of silence for those members, please. Okay, thank you. And then in closing, we do have the next meeting. We're going to do this live. That is our intention. We'll have these meetings recorded. We will post these either on Friday morning after the first meeting, or we'll do them on Monday morning, whenever time allows. We'll get this stuff posted. Again, this is not to take away from our union meetings. It's solely for information and to get that information out there, and to show that we are in total transparency of what's going on. And I do appreciate your time. Thank you.